So if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll know that recently I've been trying to get in touch with my creative side. A really big part of improving with drawing and, well, most things is going out of your comfort zone and trying new things. I've drawn a bunch of Pokemon that I like before, but I felt like it would be an even bigger challenge to see if I could make my own designs. So I thought, why not start with a starter trio? Starters have relatively simple designs and are cute as heck, so it seems like a good place for me to start experimenting. So, starting with the grass starter, Miskit. This one was the worst to name. It genuinely took me about 5 hours to come up with something I liked. So the root words that I used for Miskit's name would be mischief, kitten, and misfit. Mischief and misfit because this thing is a real troublemaker. It likes to collect things that don't necessarily belong to it and sneakily squirrel them away. Which fits really well considering I originally based this off of a red squirrel, and baby squirrels are called kittens. I did not know that before, which is where the kit part of its name comes from. And the name as a whole kind of sounds like the word misfit. It actually wasn't intentional, but it works. This is the culmination of 5 hours of drawing blanks, and even then I still thought of it in the shower. Why do I think of all my best ideas there? But backtracking a bit, I originally based Misfit on the red squirrel. I know it's not red. Spoiler alert, the other two starters have quite a bit of orange in them too, and I wanted them to stand out from each other. It has this giant leaf thingy for its tail. It looks a bit like a lily pad, but I didn't base it off of anything in particular. I really struggled with the color scheme on this one. Like I said, it was originally going to be an orangey color, and I tried out so many different shades of brown and green before I settled on the ones I chose. It ended up with the same color scheme as your standard tree, which is fitting considering that's where it hides all its stuff. Miskit has these big eyes like butter wouldn't melt, but you blink and suddenly it's in your back pocket, stealing your wallet. Its classification is the collecting Pokemon, and it's a pure grass type. It's the first one I'm showing, but this is actually the last starter I designed, and probably the one I fiddled with the most. So it looks like we're done. Here is the finished concept piece for Miskit. Then we've got the fire starter, Bunfire. This has my favorite name by far. When coming up with a name, I try and find 2 or more related words and shove them together. So obviously the root words here are bunny and bonfire. Bunfire isn't actually based off of any species of rabbit in particular. Miskit was the last starter I designed, but Bunfire was the first. It's in line with the fire starter zodiac theory, which for those of you who don't know, it's a theory that claims that all fire type starters are based off of animals in the Chinese zodiac. Charmander's the dragon, Cyndaquil's the rat, Torchic's the rooster, Chimchar's the monkey, Tepig's the pig, Fennekin is the dog, and Listen is the tiger. I feel quite smug because I predicted Gen 7's fire type starter would be based on a tiger way before it was revealed, and I feel like out of the remaining animals, rabbit is the most likely, so that's why I went with rabbits. This one was also a nightmare to color. It was originally going to be a lighter color with darker inner ears, but every combination I used reminded me of Fennekin. But at the same time, I didn't want to stray outside the yellows and reds too much either because I still wanted it to look like a fire type. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The whiskers are meant to be like burnt out matches and have smoke coming off the ends, and call me cliche, but its big floofy tail and mane can also puff up into big fireballs. Its classification, surprise surprise, is the Fire Rabbit Pokemon, and it's a pure fire type. And there we go! That's Bunfire's concept piece finished! And finally, the water starter, Ribeak! The root words of this one's name being river and beak, because it has a very long beak and it's based on a certain river-dwelling birdie, which is the kingfisher. This one was the most fun for me to design. Because these birds are so vibrant, I already had a much better idea of what colors I was going to work with. I also got a little bit of inspiration from Jays for the wing stripes. And I mean this Jay, not this one. In America, you have a ton of birds with the same names as ours, but they look completely different, and I don't get it. And yeah, I know that there's already a complete set of 3 bird starters, but to that I say, I don't care. And with Piplup in particular, penguins and kingfishers are just about as far apart as you can get bird-wise. And if they can make 2 starters based on turtles, then I think we're good. Ribeak is the only one with a dual type, water and flying, because, well, it flies. Its classification is a diving bird Pokemon, because of the way that kingfishers dive to catch their food. It's really cool, look it up. If I were to design evolutions for it, then I might expand on that concept and have it drop the flying type. So here is the final concept piece, Ribeak, which means that all 3 are done. Now that we've gone over the general process, I can give you a bit more general stuff. You may or may not have gathered that these are all based on UK animals. So my little headcanon is that if there was a region based on the UK, then these would be the starters for it. Some of the things that I found the most important while designing these would be the complexity of the design and the colour scheme. I had to keep asking myself, would this look good as a figure? Or better yet, a plush toy? Like, have you seen how many of those things they sell? The design shouldn't be too complex so they can make tons of plushies of it, and the colour scheme should be simple and vibrant so it'll look good as a Mackie's toy. I found the sweet spot is usually 4 distinct colours, but you can get away with 3 or even 5. I usually don't count the eyes in this unless it's something like Trico or Froakie, and I don't count the mouths because most of the time they won't be open. I think you've got a good colour scheme if you can line up the main colours and still recognise the Pokemon, and that's what I tried to bear in mind when designing my own. Starters usually have very exaggerated features. Big heads, big eyes. If it has a tail or some other protruding feature, it's not uncommon for it to be as big as the main body. But at the same time, don't take my word as gospel. I still have a lot, and I mean a lot, to learn creatively, and these are just my observations. For my first time designing Pokemon, I'm pretty proud of them, actually. If you like these designs, then maybe I could try and make more, or give these guys shiny forms or evolutions. Who knows? I've been away for a while, huh? I think this is the first time I've missed a month in like 4 years, so it was good to have a long break and I feel tons better from it. Don't worry, I do have more trivia videos planned, I just wanted to try something different for a change. Oh, by the way, I have a Patreon now too. No, hear me out. I don't need financial support, guys. Really, don't do that. I suggested this on Twitter and on the community tab thingy, and a lot of you guys left comments saying stuff like, I'd love to donate, or sorry I can't donate, and I'm really worried that people might be getting the wrong idea. If you see it as a donation, then please don't pledge. I'm fine, really. See it as like a subscription on Twitch where you're doing it for the rewards because that's why I set it up. Cool stuff like Discord server invites, behind the scenes video stuff, HD drawings and unseen sketches, free drawing raffle entries and all that stuff. Links in the description and all that usual hoopla. Read everything, please. My Twitter's also been going whack and possibly removing followers again, so double check that if you're a follower. Oh, and Happy New Year! In February. Bye.